Hello my friends, we are in the city of Krasnodar and today we are going to test an incredible automobile that was built by an incredible man. This automobile is a Tesla Model X. 762 horsepower, all-wheel drive, an extraordinary design, and it has no internal combustion engine, though when I'm saying that, it tears my heart apart. So there she is. So let's start with its appearance. This bitch looks insane. And it's insane in many reasons. If you stand right here where I'm standing right now and look at its front, you will see this flawless silhouette and this flawless style. Just look at this huge windshield. By the way, this windshield cost about $2,000. So be careful not to catch a stone with it, though you don't have to worry about that in Krasnodar. This is a big city and they have really dense traffic jams here, so most of the time you're gonna be standing. Right now I'm driving a brand new car, a car that I can certainly call a highest point of marketing in the whole world. And if you follow the news, you must know that every year the specialists predict that pretty soon Elon Musk will fail, and that the end of Tesla is already near, and that soon Tesla will go bankrupt, and that they have ran out of money, and that soon it's going to become a history, and so on and so forth. But in fact, it's only growing, and they still come up with their crazy and wonderful ideas and plans, and they realize them. And I still consider myself a huge fan of that man. When I was on a vacation, I came across the news. I guess everyone saw that video where Elon Musk is sitting in the studio and smoking something with that man. I guess that was marijuana. So they said that he lost lots of money because of that incident, and you know what I think about that? I think that a pure genius doesn't give a about what some specialists or other people may think, and he can do whatever he wants until he breaks the law of some particular state. So, who cares about that criticism? Well, sometimes the constructive criticism is necessary, and some people often criticize me, but I believe that such a criticism should come from the people who are at least on the same wavelength or who share the same mind. Of course, someone may say that, Davidich, you are so arrogant. You are so pretentious, but I dare to disagree with you. I'm just a regular guy from a regular family, hardworking and struggling for all my life. So I can tell you that it's pointless to argue with haters. You will never prove anything with that. And when you create something, and this something is really unique and unusual, and this is something that no one ever did before you, you just have to be ready that there are always people who will try to talk shit about you. Always. I would like to refresh my thoughts about Tesla in general and recollect our old Tesla test drive and the day we got acquainted. We drove that car to Volokholamsk city, but managed to do only 30 miles back. On our way there we drove full throttle and had to use a vegetable mode on our way back. So the question is, what can we expect from this automobile? We'll figure that out a little bit later, and now we're going to make friends with this car in the beautiful city of Krasnodar. Here we have 2 cup holders and pretty much space for everything. This is so cool, you can put lots of stuff here, just anything you want, and I like that. This is incredibly convenient. Though on the other hand, there are 2 USB plugs from the back, but no place to put your phone. That's strange. All the comfort for the driver, and that's actually correct. He flashes the cash, so he gets all the best. This car is so quiet, it's noiseless, and no worries about something may boil or break. No worries about your rods or pistons or cranks or your exhaust system or the way it sounds, nothing. It's just the silence. And it's perfect for the city. So far, I'm enjoying this car. This trunk is very big and roomy, there are lots of place for your stuff, and even you, if you came somewhere and just wanna sit here. So far, I really do like it a lot, unexpectedly, though it may be upsetting to buy it right before the new model is about to come out. So it has 762 horsepower, and it's all-wheel drive. And this car has a huge battery which is placed underneath it. And this car is incredibly stable. It's incredibly stable. And that's because it has a very low center of gravity because of that battery. Also, this car has very good brakes, but unfortunately not the best steering. And this car feels like an Infiniti. If you have ever driven an FX, you'll understand me. An Infiniti FX50 or an Infiniti FX37, do you remember these cars? They had 22-inch wheels and they steered the same way, stupid and clumsy. So there's no way you can realize all of its sport potential and all of its power somewhere in the traffic. It doesn't allow you to make any sharp movement. And the only place you can play with this 762 horsepower is a straight road, and the driver actually gets used to all of this bunch of horses and all of this power. And you can believe me, he gets used to it pretty fast. And you can show off with all of this power at any traffic light at any moment of time. This car lets you do that easily. And I guess your kid's gonna love it, or your neighbor, or your friends if you take them for a ride. But as soon as you stay with this car one-on-one, it becomes boring. And yes, it's cool. When it stands like this with these wonderful doors open, it looks really cool. But this is all it can provide. This car is outrageously stuffed with different sensors and cameras and other devices as a Thanksgiving turkey, and it sees everything. Let's check what happens if I stand over here and try to close this door. Let's see what happens. Okay, it sees me. And what if it understands that I'm standing here? And what if I do like this? Okay, it closes it. Not perfect though, with a certain effort, but it does. By the way, did you notice what has just happened? Okay, look one more time. And look carefully over here. Watch. Did you notice it's catching something on its way? And I'm sure that you never thought that such a car can be assembled that way, and it has run less than 2,000 miles. But I will help you face the reality today. Every car is made like this, because today they care only about marketing and sales, and they hurry to sell more. They don't have that time to work on it properly. No matter the quality. They just need you to buy it, and they will say the words you want to hear. First of all, it can cover up to 270 miles with one full charge of this battery. And today we're going to check if that is true. So we're not just going to test this car. Today we're going to arrange racing at the aerodrome, and there this baby will be challenging other cars. So today we're going to find out how good its acceleration really is. Anyway, this battery is not enough. This battery is not enough. It's not enough, and I tell you why. No one will ever drive it at 40 miles per hour. Especially here. Their owners will drive it at least at 80 miles per hour. Or even at 100, because that's what they pay their money for. And it costs from 135 up to 150,000, by the way. Every such a race we participated in took away 6 miles from the battery. Even on such a short distance, every time you press the gas pedal really hard, it loses 6 more miles. And I was the only passenger in this car, and what if we put 4 more people inside here? Or even 6? And it's 6 miles for every start, minus 6, minus 6. I made 10 starts, minus 60 miles from the one charge distance. So where should I drive it? Nowhere. And here's one more thing. We did an experiment in Krasnodar. By the way, let's just imagine that this car managed to get from Moscow to Krasnodar somehow. I don't know how, but we did it. Let's just imagine that we had the opportunity to charge it on the way. That's absolutely impossible, but let's pretend that's real. So what did we do? We opened the map in our phone and tried to find the charger. And we found it. And that's what happened. This thing is strange. If it has a fingerprint scanner, it means that you have to register somewhere first, right? And there's no any phone number on it, so imagine you came to Krasnodar at night and you are driving a Tesla. So you came here late at night and you need to charge your car. And you found this charger. Not one of them, cause this charger is the only one. But you cannot use it. You cannot use it because the people who installed it here were not smart enough to put their phone number on it, or we are too stupid to understand how it works, though I doubt about the second. It says use the card. Let's use the card, okay. Do you have any card to use? Does anyone have a gas station card? Yeah.
Please try again.
It says to try again. Okay, I got it. I'm trying again, darling.
Please try again.
That's a useless activity. So I'd like to give an advice to the people who install here this electric locker. Guys, you should leave your phone number so that people could at least call you and ask how this thing works. Cause every such an unsuccessful try scares them away from buying this car, honestly. So now you must understand that even if you manage to reach Krasnodar, nothing waits for you here. Because if you need to charge such a car, you must have some extraordinary accounts or some special cards. And the people who could be interested in building more or less user-friendly infrastructure do not exist here. It's an isolated item. So all you can do in Krasnodar is to find another Tesla owner and ask him for some help. And hope that he is generous enough to help you out. And maybe he will tell you to his place and let you charge with a normal speed. So when a man buys such a car for such a money, the only thing he dreams about in Russia is just to get from point A to point B. When we were driving back from the aerodrome after that race, all the way I was checking how much charge left there, and it was melting incredibly fast. And I was so afraid that we're not gonna make it. But despite that, we didn't switch off the conditioner and the music. This car is controversial, and some people like to say here that buying a Tesla is a first step towards a rubber woman and non-alcoholic beer. I wouldn't be that drastic. I disagree with that because today, after that aerodrome race, it finally became clear to me that my generation is the generation of dinosaurs. And that's because we still want that insane sound. We want that smoke. We want to go wild. And we like those explosions and fire from the exhaust. And we want to feel all that simultaneously with the same level of acceleration that a fast and powerful car provides you. And when it doesn't happen, it feels that something goes wrong. And today, when we were challenging other cars, after a third race, I found myself not having any fun. I was just sitting in the car with no emotions on my face, mechanically pressing the gas pedal, and it definitely accelerates pretty fast, but the guy who's sitting in the second car, he feels alive. He's having the explosions going on, and he's having the sound, he's racing, feeling and living the moment. And this thing is kind of strange. This is a toy, a pure toy. This is a kind of some unreal reality, because you don't feel the real joy from racing it. This is how I felt it in short. Let's move on. According to the numbers and its behavior, this car is same as Tesla Model S. It likes gems. It likes to go calmly. Here I drive at 23 miles per hour. And yes, you heard me right, Davidich is able to drive slowly sometimes. And it seems to enjoy it. It's 27 degrees Celsius and it's good for this battery. It's not freezing or losing power. So minimalism is kind of its thing. And if you ever watched other test drives of this car, you must already know that there's nothing else about this car. In fact, it doesn't need anything else. The main philosophy of this automobile is just to drive and not to pollute the environment and have fun from its quietness and its comfort, and first of all its acceleration and its speed. These doors are incredibly beautiful, and the system that opens these doors and closes them is the main feature of this car. And we never found any complaints about these doors or any review saying they have ever went out of order. Nothing like that. Somehow Musk managed to do these doors solid, practical and working. And we actually have to thank him for that. Somehow he did that. And this windshield is just amazing, and it doesn't press on you. It gives the feeling of room and space. It makes you want to live inside of this car. And of course, while I'm driving it, I start to pay attention to details, and when I look this way I see this Alcantara. That's cool. I see the stitching on this handle and it's nice and it's stylish. And also hello guys, I recognize these shifters and pedals and all these window regulator buttons. It's all Mercedes. And that's not a secret. But I feel comfortable inside here. I'm not a thin man and I feel comfortable. There's a pit on the road. Well, I cannot say that was super comfortable, but it's neither super stiff. If you curse Japanese cars for bad painting and bad varnish, and if you are sure that Japanese paint cars poorly, you have never seen how badly they paint these Teslas that cost 150,000. You have absolutely no idea, just look over here attentively. There are lots of dust and sand under the varnish all around the car, and you can see that clearly. And all of these rubber seals stuck out everywhere you look. And now please take a glance at this panel and this mirror. It's easy to understand that these two lines were supposed to match each other, but they do not. And if you think that this car is old, you are wrong, cause this car has run only 2,000 miles, and it came out in 2019. And if you look at it from the left side, here these lines do match each other. And if you start paying attention to all of these small details, such as all these rubber seals, you will find them looking very tired, even the wipers. They are bad from the both sides. Now watch, I'm going to close the door. Here it is. See, this seal is the same. And also these gaps do not match, and they do not match everywhere, all around the car. I mean, while you are watching this car passing by, you look at it and think, wow, that's a lucky guy, he owns a Tesla. But in fact, it's quite the opposite. This guy, he never had an opportunity to examine them all and pick the most successfully assembled car. He never had the chance to check all the details. And the people who buy these cars, they actually know what they are doing. Because what they buy is not a car, it's a gadget. They buy themselves a toy they just want to play with, and that's it. Because I can hardly call it a car. I was sure that these couple of years, while these cars are in production, would be enough to fix all the issues. I hoped it was going to change, but unfortunately, this car is the same old Model S. And it still has that lame seats made of that strange leather and same questionable quality. And it doesn't seem that they are going to improve it in any way. And that is because they simply have no need in that. Why should they do that for? Since people are buying this car anyway, there's no need to change anything. That's what they think, believe me. Now check this out. This is interesting. So it's 25 degrees Celsius. And we have 4 people inside. And while we were still in the city, I floored it 2 times. And it was enough to raise the temperature of this battery. Well, not to the critical level. But anyway, it raised high enough, and now it's Now it's almost at its peak. So now, this car says, guys, please do not speed up and be modest, drive calmly, cause otherwise I will overheat pretty fast, and now it just refuses to accelerate. So now I understand why it made those strange noises. At the airdrome. That's it. Here I floored the gas pedal and there comes no reaction. It says, be cool, my friend. And please let me cool down my battery. So no way, man. Remember, this is the exact thing I've been telling you today. We have left only 174 miles, and it's 25 degrees outside. I pay your attention to that, for no one could blame it on the weather, saying it was too cold or too hot. It's 25 degrees and we're driving at night. So, what range we covered? It's almost nothing. Did we try to race it? Nope, we did not. We're just driving it on the straight. The weather is perfect. 4 people inside. One time I accelerated to 137 miles per hour. All the other time we drove it at the speed of 80 or 85. Yeah, I know. It tries to warn you about everything. A good girl, you are doing a very good job. Let's talk about this design, cause this is very subjective. Someone may like it, someone may not. Yesterday, me and my team decided to talk about it and we talked a lot. I'm not sure whether our opinion is going to correspond to yours, but we like the front of the car more than we like the back of it. Don't ask me. I don't know why, I just like it. But this black color makes it merge into one black spot. If it were white, I guess we would see most of its lines better, but this black kills its design. By the way, I just noticed one thing. Take a look at it clearly, and you will see. There's a huge gap in the front. I can stuck my little finger here. Geometrically, it looks okay, but I doubt this gap was planned to be here. This car upsets me even deeper than a rubber woman or non-alcoholic beer. Because it confuses me in every way. It can be fast, but not for long. I do like its design, but still it's questionable. These doors seem to be cool. But what will you do if this automobile gets into some accident and these doors get jammed? That's a perfect situation to imagine. Come on, tell me, how are you going to get out of it, huh? Will you break these windows? You will not break them. If this car gets into a crash, I don't know what to expect, but I will be honest with you, I feel a little bit scared to be on the back seat. But I really like these doors, they are really beautiful, and they work really cool. And if this door sees a human, it changes the angle of movement. It tries to avoid the collision, so if there is another car, it will open without hitting or scratching it. But if it feels there is enough place, it will open as usual with the normal angle. Do I consider it cool? Maybe. Beautiful. Absolutely. But how practical will it be in real life? I guess we will know that pretty soon. And here's one more thing. If you consider that vehicle behind my back an automobile, then you are wrong. That is the marketing itself. It's the future. It's the thing that sells itself and persuades us by it. And it doesn't need any sales manager. If you doubt it, then just watch. So what? Come on, go ahead and tell me it doesn't make you feel excited. Or show me some other car that can do the same. Those who developed it are pure geniuses. And we have to admit it. Its future we cannot foresee. Same as we don't know what to expect from the Tesla company. Every year I read news that they're about to close. Every year they say that Tesla is close to bankruptcy, that you will never see it again, and that Musk will soon leave all this automobile empire in the past. That's a bullshit, and I still believe in that man. Even despite it has some lame seals, and despite I'm not gonna buy this car simply because I like to race. And it's not able to do that for long. I just cannot party around the Charger all the time. I want to drive it from Moscow till Krasnodar, wash it, change clothes, fuel it, and go downtown. And so far in Russia, I can do that only with an internal combustion engine. I cannot call this car bad. Not at all. This car is already an epic legend, but I'm afraid that this legend can be easily erased from the history by huge corporations that soon are going to make the same automobiles with better quality. And that is going to be very interesting. My name is Davidich and this was D3. See ya.